This video is going to show you how to create the train stack for your miniature train project. We're going to create the train stack in 3 different steps. We're going to create a sketch and then revolve it to make the overall form of the stack. And then we'll use the hole tool to create the hole on the top, which is a counterbore hole. And then we'll add a small chamfer to the very bottom edge to finish it off. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and go up to New Design. And I'll create a sketch on the front. Okay, so what we're going to do, if we look at the drawing here, you'll notice the drawing is given as a half section view. And we're just going to create the outside profile of this. And we're going to completely ignore the hole, pretend the hole doesn't exist. So we'll draw these outside lines. Then once we get up here to the top, we'll just draw it all the way across and then go right back down. So we're just going to not even worry about these other inside lines because those are going to be generated when we use the hole tool on the top. Okay, so we're going to start from the bottom. So I'm going to start by drawing this line. Notice that we are starting from the center of this hole. So any dimension that's given as a diameter, like this one here, is going to need to be cut in half. So when I draw this first line, because we're starting from the middle, I'm not going to make it 0.5. I'm going to make it 0.25. Oh, let me redraw that. So 0.25. Okay, and then we're going to continue to go around. So I'm going to go up, and that's going to be 0.25. And then we're going to have kind of a longer angled line. And then you'll notice that is dimension 1.5 from the bottom. The other thing that you'll notice, this point here is also referenced with this diameter as well. And again, we are starting from the center and going out, so that would be the radius. So we want to cut that in half, and that is 0.625. So if we dimension from this center point where we started to here, that should be 0.625. Okay, next we have a small angled line going in. And then I'm just going to go ahead and close this off. So as I draw across, I'm going to go down here and just hover my mouse over that point to reference it. Make sure this line is flat and straight, horizontal, and then click there. And then we're going to go back down. Okay. Now this point right here, we want to dimension what the height is. If we look at our drawing, it is 1.75. So from that bottom edge to this point here, 1.75. The only thing we have to dimension next is this angled line right here, and you'll notice that has a dimension of 15 degrees. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the line tool and make a reference line from this point straight up. And let's go ahead and make that line a construction line since it's just a reference. And then we'll go to the dimension tool, click that reference line, click that angled line, and then change that to 15 degrees. Okay, so our profile is done and we are ready to revolve. So I'm going to click Finish, click the profile, go to Revolve, and then for our axis, we're just going to click this inside line right here, and that's going to go ahead and make our train stack model. Okay, the next part of this, we're going to add in the counterbore hole on the top. So I'm going to click the top and then go to the hole tool. You'll notice it's going to be way off the center. So if I click on the top of our view cube here, and then I'm going to drag this to the middle. Okay, and then I'll click that. All right, I'm going to get the drawing a little bit out of the way here. It looks like what it did is it saved my settings from when I typed all of this in last time. Again, you'll notice this is a counterbore hole, so make sure under hole type you select counterbore. And then the very top 2 dimensions are in relation to the smaller hole or the through hole for this. So that has a diameter of 0.375, which is this very bottom box right here. The depth is 1.5, which is the very top box. The counterbore hole, the very top part here, the bigger diameter part, has a diameter of 0.875, which is the second one down, and it has a depth of 0.375, which is the next box down. So just make sure all that stuff matches, and then click OK. And then the next and last thing that we need to do is just add a chamfer to this very bottom edge, because there is a note right here on that says chamfer the bottom edge 0.01. So I'm going to go to Modify, Chamfer, and then I'll zoom in a little bit. Just click on this bottom edge and change that to 0.01 and press Enter. Okay, and that will be your train stack completed.